Pixar movies that don't have a sequel ranked. The Good Dinosaur to me is the single worst Pixar movie that doesn't feel like it even comes from the studio and is kind of a lifeless ripoff of The Lion King. Elio was a dud, just a complete misfire from the studio last year that was initially going to be a completely different movie until they scrapped it and changed it for the worst. Turning Red's never really done much for me, but it has a banger song. Brave's always been one of the more forgettable Pixar movies for me, even though Merida's become a Disney princess, literally. Luca kind of came and went, same thing, had some strong ideas, cool animation and setting, but not one of the more memorable Pixar movies. Lightyear's another one that's really fallen off for me over time. The concept's out of this world. It's the movie that Andy watches in the Toy Story universe and he loves, but it's not all that great. The third act really falls apart and some of the reveals are just silly. Hot take incoming, I'm not a huge WALL-E fan. I want to revisit it and see if that's changed. It's been like 4 or 5 years since my last rewatch, but ever since I was a kid, I couldn't get into it. I get the concept. I know what it's going for. It's got a great message about protecting the environment. I just could never get that invested. Soul has some gorgeous music and a moving main message about living your life to the fullest, but it takes itself so seriously at times, and then the middle act is just a goofball body swap movie. It never fails to take me out of the movie for a solid 30 minutes. I wish I could love this movie like, say, Inside Out. Elemental's a real unique concept. It's not a movie I revisit much, but it successfully creates its own world of elements, and there's a cool dynamic between Ember and Wade. Hoppers, the newly released Pixar movie, has a lot of heart. It's without a doubt the most bonkers Pixar movie. It goes for it with some wacky moments, especially in the third act. It's got some powerful themes about grieving, honoring the legacy of a loved one, but also protecting our environment, kind of like WALL-E. A Bug's Life's a Pixar classic. It's the second ever movie from the studio, and I feel like it gets a bad rap. It just gets better with age, even though it follows the Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai template, if you will. Onward is the single most slept on, underrated Pixar movie. It never fails to bring me to tears with that brotherhood story, and the sense of adventure is real. We need a sequel, I'll say it. Coco's become sort of a modern Pixar classic with its vibrant colors and animation, and of course representation of the culture. Dia de los Muertos is brought to life, the characters are lovable, and the music's unforgettable. This is a new classic from Pixar. Up is all-time stuff, Academy Award nominated for a reason. The first 10 minutes are soul-crushing, but then it's all about adventure and living life to the fullest. This movie is special. But Ratatouille is the best Pixar movie that does not have a sequel. Anyone can cook, baby.